have a very special visitor from America. He comes from a place in America called Texas, and he comes from a town called San Antonio. No, it's San Antonio. Onotonio. Anyway, something like that. Please welcome him.
I'm just tickled pink to be with you here tonight.
What he has to say is that he's become very sick. He's scratching so much that he's become very red. I think it's mosquitoes.
Ma, all of you have such white teeth here.
He says that you've been smiling so much.
You must go to the orthodontist, or you go every month to get some cleaning.
He says you must have been going to the witch doctor so that you can become very clean.
You're all so nice and thin. Have you been on a diet?
I guess he's saying that we look very small, that we must be eating badly, or we are having some worms.
It blows my mind to see so many of you walking and riding bicycles.
He says there is some air entering into his brain every time he sees us without vehicles. We have no money to go anywhere. We have to go by foot, or we have to go by bicycle.
That's really good exercise.
Basically, he's saying we don't have enough money to buy a vehicle.
Well, you know, since I've been here, you just really blessed my socks off.
He's saying that he cannot bless the Lord unless we take our socks off.
Well, I should stop beating around the bush now.
He's saying that someone took him behind a bush and beat him.
But I do have a few nuggets to give you tonight.
Promise to give us some very precious stones.
I want to unpack a passage of the Bible for you.
He was not able to unpack his suitcase, so he left his Bible inside.
I want to tell you a Bible story that will really wet your whistle.
He wants to read us a story from the Bible that is going to make us very wet.
About a boy who ran away from home. He was a real loser.
This boy had very bad marks. He always failed all of his exams, and he was very bad at sports.
So he said to his dad, he said, "Hey, old man, give me my dough, and I'll split the seed."
And he said, "Hello, old man. Please give me a female impala so that I can cut the stomach."
He really threw his dad for a zinger.
And then he threw to his father something called a zinger.
So he split the seed and blew his wad on partying and wild living.
So then he cut the stomach of the impala, and then he spoke some words of blowing out of his mouth, and he left and lived with the wild animals.
Then he landed a job of feeding hogs.
Then he went to a faraway land and he was feeding. Feeding what?
Pigs.
Pigs. He was feeding pigs in a faraway land.
And at first he thought he was in hog heaven.
And then he thought, I believe Americans think that there is a heaven for pigs.
But eating corn cobs all the time became a real drag.
And then he became so fat from eating Uganda cobs all the time.
He really got himself in a pickle.
And then he found himself surrounded by vinegar and very small cucumbers. and the corpse, he decided to eat crow instead and asked his father if he can come home.
His dad said, "Hey, son, I'm cool that you came back."
And then he said, "You know, my son, I've become so cold ever since you came back."
So his mom cooked up a storm and made a barbecue steaks for him.
And his mother was also a witch doctor, and so she created a storm and made some magic for him.
And he just wolfed down that food.
And that magic made him to come into a wolf every time he ate.
Now let me drive home my point.
When he was driving home today, he got a puncture.
I don't want to eat up all your time today.
I think he's very hungry.
This story teaches us that if we leave home, we really get bad food.
His meaning, every time he travels, he eats very poorly.
Better to stay home and eat mama's cooking.
He wants to go to all of your homes and eat your mother's cooking.
I guarantee you, there's no place like home.
He promises that his home is better than yours.
I really thank y'all for letting me share from the bottom of my heart tonight.
We need to pray for our brother because it seems that his heart is in his battle. Because his wife wants to kill him.
But it's not over until the fat lady sings.
But he requests before the end of the service if we can choose the fattest woman to come and sing for him.
Thank you very much. Go get him, guys.
I don't know what he just said, but can everyone give one very big round clap for our father?